Hi, Colby. Happy Saturday.
Oh, it's Saturday. Hello.
Thank you for being here on your weekend. I don't know if you remember this, but many moons ago, we used to sit catty corner from each other up on the 7th floor in Metro, and we were basically desk buddies.
Of course I remember, because you were covering, transportation at the time?
I was.
And I was anchoring our Inspired Life blog.
Yes, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, and I distinctly remember when you got to the Post, because we have a mutual friend, and all I heard for the weeks until you got here was oh, okay, wait till you meet Martine,
Oh my
she's
gosh.
the best. So, yeah.
That was so long ago, and I remember you were a very kind, welcoming desk mate, and that I had a lot of dumb questions about, where is the bathroom? and you were very, very kind to show me around and show me the ropes here. So the reason we are chatting today, folks may have heard on a couple earlier episodes this week of Post Reports that I have some exciting news of things that are coming up for me. I am going to be reporting on our White House team here at the Post for a few months this spring. And then at the beginning part of the summer, I am going to be going on parental leave, which is another big thing. And that means that I won't be on Post Reports for a little while. But luckily, we have Colby here, who is going to be stepping in to co-host along with Elahe Azadi, and will be keeping my seat warm while I'm away.
Well, I'm very excited both to take over this role, but also for you. You're going to do amazing covering the White House, and then you're going to be the most incredible mom. So
thank you for saying
you have
that.
a lot of exciting things ahead.
As my mom says, from your lips to God's ears. So I wanted to sit down with you today to just give listeners a chance to get to know you a little bit more, who you are, and the job that you've been doing, or jobs. You've covered a lot of things here at the Post before you have now embarked on this time with the podcast team.
Yeah, I've been here 11 years this week. I've covered a lot of different things here at the Washington Post.
Mm-hmm.
In the last year, I've been on our democracy team, and what we mostly focused on was the lead up to the election, efforts to sow doubt in our elections, efforts to suppress voting. So we pivoted to covering issues like, is President Trump and his administration violating the Constitution? Are they busting through, guardrails and norms? Mm-hmm. And those were the things that I was focused on before this amazing opportunity arose.
I have been asking different colleagues in the newsroom this, and I'm curious to hear your answer. This is a moment where we are being inundated with news. Things are moving really quickly. How does it feel for you, keeping up with the news and thinking about reporting on the news in a different way, by sharing what's going on with listeners on Post Reports?
I think it's so exciting to be able to share the news through this form. I've been a print journalist for 20 years, but I love getting my news through podcasts. Don't tell my colleagues at the newspaper that. But I just think I've always been an audio learner.
Mm-hmm.
And so I turn to podcasts to get a lot of my news. And there's so much coming at us all the time. I feel like the news has just been absolutely relentless since the second Trump was sworn in on January 20th.
Yeah.
And so to have a place where you can kind of have that explained to you in really conversational tones, and you can talk to the people that are doing the reporting, talk to the experts, to me, it's just such a gift.
I couldn't have said it better. That's what I have loved about this job, and it makes me excited to hear how excited you are as well. What are you most looking forward to with hosting Post Reports?
I am so excited to elevate our colleagues' work. I just think that is really awesome. And we don't just cover politics here. I've been doing politics most of my career, but the opportunity to talk to reporters in different parts of the newsroom, to elevate work in pop culture and sports and health. And I'm going to learn a lot. And I'm going to help our listeners learn too. And that just seems like the coolest thing.
I feel like one thing that I love about this job is that on any given day in the morning, I could be having a conversation about something with intense and serious consequences that's happening in the federal government. And then I step out, grab a coffee, come back in. And the next thing we're talking about is the Oscars and movies we've seen and why they matter. And then, something 15 minutes after that that's about, I don't know, fartlicks and how fartlicks are good for you. And if you haven't listened to the fartlick episode, you should definitely do that. But that's one of the joys that I have had in this job in the 6+ years that I've been doing it. And I'm so excited that you're going to be able to experience that too. So Colby, thank you so much for being here today. And thank you so much for taking this on and being here for our listeners in the coming months.
Big shoes to fill, obviously, but I will keep your seat warm. And I'm so excited to see what you do on the White House team.
Well, I'll come back on the podcast and
Please
I'll tell everyone about it.
Oh my gosh.
I'll be very nervous as a guest.
I really want you to be a
worry.
guest. And I feel like our listeners would be so thrilled.
They'll listen and be like, oh, this is why she asked the questions and doesn't tend to answer them. Colby, thanks again. And you'll hear more from Colby very soon.
Thanks, Martine.
All right. So with that, I'm Martine Powers, and we will be back on Monday with more stories from the Washington Post.